Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm actually not going to be doing a reaction video, surprisingly. I'm actually going to be talking about the Howling, which is Hive Japan's survival show that they just came out with. And it's about debuting a group, a Japanese boy group at that, called And Audition, which I don't know if they're gonna keep that name or if it's just like kind of a name that they're just throwing out there to use for now. But yeah, they're going to be debuting a Japanese boy group, and they already actually have members that are set to debut already in that group, because they were in a previous survival show called Island, and those members that are set to debut are Kei, Nicholas, Uju, and Taki. I've been waiting so long to watch the first episode and to actually talk about it with y'all because I have been waiting a very long time for Kei and Nicholas and Uju and Taki to debut. Since they announced that they were supposed to debut, has it been a year? I think it's been a year since they were announced that they were going to debut in a different group, in a Japanese group. And yeah, so it's been a long journey for me and other people that have just been a fan of these four since Island, basically since Island. I'm extremely excited to talk about the first episode with you guys, so let's just get started. And actually, before I get started with talking about everything, I'm just basically going to break down the first episode and kind of just give my thoughts and opinions on the survival show thus far. And yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I took this video very serious because I actually watched episode 1 twice, and the second time I kind of took notes so I could actually remember what to talk about. I literally wrote down everything. I wrote down I have 4 pages of notes. Yeah, I took it very serious. So what I wrote down first was that how they introduced Kei, Nicholas, Uju, and Taki. I really liked how they did the introduction at the beginning, because they kind of just had them dance, and I really loved the background that they used. It was the stage that they show more towards the middle of the episode. And it has how do I describe it? I liked how specifically Kei's introduction, whenever he dances and then kind of in the background blue lights that look kind of like glitter start pouring in the background, and it just looks really beautiful. That's a very minor thing that I kind of just added, but I thought it looked cool, and I liked how they just did it for the members, because yeah, it was just nice seeing them get such a cool introduction, because they've gone through so much, and it's yeah, they're the main characters. They're the main characters of this show. Next thing that I wrote down was honestly my favorite part of the episode, and that was when they got to reunite with Enhypen. When I tell y'all, I got so emotional when I first saw that. I was not expecting that, honestly. I genuinely didn't think that they would do that, but I'm so glad that they did. I'm my Island heart was so full. I was just yes, this is the content that I wanted. I thought it was just such a cute moment, and especially Kei's face whenever they walked in. He just starts kind of yelling, and it's just he looks so happy. They all just looked so happy to be together again, and just it was just such a nice moment. It just reminded me so much of Island, and just all those memories really flooded back to me, and I just I got so emotional. I thought their interaction was just so cute, and they just honestly seemed like such best friends still, you know, because they just all went through so much together on Island, and it's just like, oh, I loved it. Whoever thought of that idea, you deserve a raise. Quite honestly, the entire interaction was perfect. And what I really loved about that interaction is when Jay was like, he mentioned how it must suck, and he didn't say how it must suck, but like, it's crazy that they have to go on another survival show after just being on Island, you know, which was another survival show. So it's like damn. Which, you know what, Jay just said what we were all thinking, honestly, because I mean, to be fair, like, when I heard that they were gonna be in the survival show, I was kind of just like, they were just on a survival show. Why do they have to go through this again? I'm so confused. So, like, Jay was just spitting facts, you know? Like, I respect it. Like, he did not care. I love that. That's what I love about Jay. He says what he wants and does not care. I love that man. Now, moving past them talking to Enhypen, then we transition to them meeting the 11 other trainees that they're going to be like doing the survival show with. So they all had to like come in and like grab their own name tag, and it was just like really cute, and a lot of them were super just like awkward because, you know, like they've never been on a survival show before and they're just super shy, so like it happens. And then they had to kind of show off like a talent, and it wasn't just the trainees that had to do that. I think even like the other four that had to do that, like Kay, Nicholas, Uju, and Taki. So yeah, like all of them basically had to show off a talent. I feel like out of all of them, the one that kind of really stood out to me the most with his talent was Joe's, because his talent was bouncing like a basketball under his legs, and he was like dribbling it, and how he was doing it was really like, how to describe it, it was fun to see because it looked really hard. He kept moving his leg back and forth, and like, I don't know, I was just like, I can never do that, honestly. So I don't know, his really stood out to me. I feel like his was really fun to me. And then I forgot to write his name, but the one that did his ballet performance, he also like stood out to me. I really liked his performance. I feel like he was a bit shy though whenever he was like performing, because he seems like a super shy person, but hopefully he kind of breaks out of his shell like during the survival show. But I really liked his like ballet performance. I feel like I never see male idols or just males in general do ballet, so that was very like different and unique to me, so I liked it. And then after their introduction and showing off their talent, they then reveal like the first mission right away, which I feel like was really fast, and even like the other four that were on Island even said it themselves. They're like, oh, that was really fast, which I think it was because I feel like on Island they really took their sweet time on doing like the first mission. I feel like the first mission wasn't revealed until like probably the second episode maybe. So I'm wondering if they're trying to like rush through this because they want to debut them like as soon as possible, or like, I don't know. I feel like it was kind of like just fast paced, you know. So their first mission is to learn their signal song, which is called The Final Countdown, the song that I actually reacted to on this channel, because they came out with the music video first, before like this episode even came out. And yeah, so that was their first mission, is to basically learn the choreography, learn the lyrics and all that, and just kind of like put it together so that they can be ready for their first performance. And they basically just start practicing that like right away. And then we move on to them introducing the 4 producers that are going to be basically judging them on the survival show. And the 4 producers are P-Dog, Son Seung-duk, which I know I'm butchering his name. I know who he is. He is BTS's choreographer. He's very well known in the ARMY community, but I've never learned how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I know him and P-Dog very well because of BTS and also because of Island, and I saw like, I don't know if, I think P-Dog was on Island for like maybe an episode, I don't remember, but I know I'm gonna butcher his name, but him, I know he was on Island, and he was a really good like mentor, I feel like, to the trainees. So I'm excited to see him on this one too. And they're gonna be like the Korean producers, and so for the Japanese producers, it's gonna be Sakura and Soma Gendo. I know I'm butchering their name. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me. They're going to be the Japanese producers that are going to be judging them also. And actually, the Japanese producers are going to be mainly the ones training them and basically just like evaluating them most of the time. So like, they're gonna be the main ones that like really judge them on like a very higher level, you know? And after introducing the producers, they basically show the Japanese producers evaluating the trainees, and like how the whole process is basically. And the producers are very like hard on them, which isn't a bad thing because I know like they're just trying to push them to do their best, because you know this is a survival show. Like, you have to do your best if you want to make it to the like final debut group. And I feel like especially Sakura is very like particular on how like she critiques them basically, and just like what she wants them to do. And I feel like that is good because she tells them what they need to work on, and that's something that's very important, because a lot of people that are like teachers basically, they'll tell you when you do something wrong, but they won't tell you exactly what you did wrong and how to fix it. And I feel like she does that, and I respect that. So I really like that about Sakura, because I feel like it will definitely benefit the trainees and like their future, you know? And then in the next scene, after like they show us the trainees like practicing and getting evaluated, all that, they also show us them going to their lockers, and then they basically tell them to like open the lockers and see like what is their grade from their evaluation. And they don't really like explain to them basically, and us as the audience, like how they're scoring them basically, because I mean, what we know so far as the audience is that they're using like the crystal balls, which they call and balls, which is a name. It's definitely a name, but they call them and balls, and they kind of like the amount of and balls that you have is your grade basically. And obviously if you have a lot, that's really good, and if you don't have a lot, then that's not good. And they didn't explain that to the trainees at first, and as an audience you don't know that either, but it's kind of like self-explanatory. But like for the trainees, they didn't know what they were looking for in their locker, and so some of them got like the and balls, and they were just like, oh, okay, like I don't know what this is for, but all right. And then some of them just had like a plate because it was like empty, and that's where like the and balls were supposed to be in, and one of the trainees was just like, I don't know how many plates I'm supposed to have, but okay, like, sure, I have one. And then another trainee was just like straight up confused, which I felt so bad for. Like, honestly, I felt bad for like all of them because they were just all confused, but that one trainee, he was just straight up like, I don't know what's going on. Which is so funny, but like I also felt bad, you know? And after that whole scene of them like opening their lockers and stuff like that, they then transitioned to basically announcing to the like all of the trainees that a member, which, what's his name? Min Hyung? I think, yeah, Min Hyung. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. He isn't going to be performing with them. And we kind of don't know why. They don't tell us like at all. So maybe it's for personal reasons. But I think he may come back because they don't say like, oh, like he's not coming back. They just say like, oh, he's not gonna be performing like with y'all. So I don't know if like he's just straight up gone or if he's coming back. I don't know. They don't really like explain to us. I hope he comes back because I think he's the one that was like really young and he looked like a baby. So I don't know. I hope he does because I want him to like, I want to see him train and grow. So like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. But yeah, they basically announced that to all of the trainees and just tell them like, oh, like we have to change the choreo last minute to like, instead of 15 members, it's going to be 14 members, and just like change everything around, which sucks for them because this is their first performance and already someone is like gonna be out for this performance. So like that really does suck because, you know, like they practice really hard and like now they have to change it all up again. So that's really inconvenient, but you know, things happen. Then finally we get to the scene where they are on the stage and ready to perform. At first they start talking to the producers and they kind of just like finally explain to the trainees about like the whole concept of the and balls. And basically the whole concept of the and balls is to try to get as many as they can, like individual wise, because they can only get it individually. Let's just say the judges are grading K on his performance. They grade him by his vocal performance, they grade him on his like choreo, and like there was a third criteria and I forgot what it was called. They grade them basically just on like the entire performance. And again, you have to get as many and balls as you can because there's this thing called an and ring, which they're basically gonna fill it with like and balls, and once it's full they can move on to the next round. And speaking of the and ring, like what I said earlier, they have to fill it all up to basically move on to the next round. So like say if they don't get to fill it all up and they like fail in that, they apparently will cancel the entire debut in general. Yeah, they just wanted to drop that on us just in the middle of the fucking episode. Like, okay, cool. I know that they're most likely just saying that because they want to make the show more dramatic and kind of just like add spice to it. But like, look, if my boys do not get to debut after waiting over a year for this, Hybe, we're gonna have a problem, okay? Bang PD, we're having a conversation. I will fly to South Korea myself. Remember that, Hybe. Remember that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. They finally perform their song, The Final Countdown. And honestly, like, the Korean producers, they really liked it, honestly. Like, they had a few critiques here and there, but like, they thought they did really well. Personally, I'm on their side because I also really liked the performance. I thought it was pretty stable for like their first performance, and also like especially with them having to change the choreo and like probably also change their singing parts because they were down a member. I thought they did really well. And it could also be like they did really well because they do have Kay, Nicholas, Uju, and Taki, and again, they already been on like Island and all that, so like they have a lot more experience than the others, so it could be that, like, and that's why they were just a lot more stable. But I don't know, I just think they did really, really well. But the Japanese producers actually kind of had more of a different view of it. They were kind of disappointed because they felt like they could have done better, which honestly I do understand because they're the ones that are like training them and like have seen their potential. So I do understand that, because they just feel like they could have put a lot more into it because they have seen how far that they can go, and yet they feel like they kind of just held back, you know, which is again understandable, and I see their point of view. And back to like my opinions on the performance, I feel like there was a few trainees that really stood out to me. Obviously my baby Kay definitely stood out to me. Like honestly, Kay has grown so much. Like he used to be so fucking talented on stage, but like I feel like he's grown even better, which I'm like, it's crazy to see. I cannot wait for him to debut because bro, he is a monster on stage. Like his presence has gotten so much better. Like I can only imagine once he debuts. Like I'm excited. And then the other ones that also stood out to me were Yuma, Joe, and Guka. I think that's how you pronounce their names. I feel like they all three stood out to me vocal wise during the performance. I feel like they all just had like really nice vocal tones, and just like they were very stable to me. Out of all the trainees, I feel like they really stood out to me the most. Again, overall, I really think the performance just in general was stable, and just like everybody did a really good job. And after the performance and the judges gave all their opinions and all that, they announced the second mission. And basically for the second mission, Kay, Nicholas, Uju, and Taki have to lead their own like little groups of trainees, and they have to all four give like a performance and kind of show like how they, I guess, build teamwork, which I'm actually kind of curious on, because I am so used to seeing like Kay being very much a leader of like everybody. I mean, we have seen Taki on Island also be a leader, and at the time, I mean, he was super young, and I mean, he's still really young, but like back then he was like even younger and had no idea how to lead, and so he obviously wasn't like the best at it, you know. So maybe he will surprise us this time and actually be like, you know what, I've been through this before, like I can do this again, you know. So I'm curious to see that. And also like Uju and Nicholas, I just don't see them being leaders. Like maybe Nicholas, I could see him doing like good and leading like choreography and all that, but like I don't know how he would be in like vocally leading the others. Uju is just, I don't know, I don't see Uju being like a leader. I mean, again, he could very much surprise me, you know, but like I don't know, I'm just really curious to see how this ends up, honestly. So yeah, I cannot wait. In conclusion, I think the concept for the survival show is really interesting. I feel like this is only episode 1, so I don't have too many thoughts on it so far, but I like how it's starting. I think it is definitely going faster than Island, like pace-wise. And I actually don't know how many episodes they're planning on putting out, so maybe they're not gonna do as much as they did on Island, because I think Island was like 10 episodes. So I don't know if they're gonna do 10 episodes or maybe they're gonna do less to try to debut them as fast as they can, because they already know like a lot of people have been waiting for their debut. So maybe that's why they're going at a faster pace. I don't know. But I mean, I like the concept, and I think like all the trainees so far from what I've seen, I think a lot of them have really great potential, because again, I feel like so many of them were really stable and just did a really good job performance wise. I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'm just really excited to see like Kay, Taki, Uju, Nicholas perform again, because it's been such a long time since Island, and I've been so desperate to see them just perform again. So yeah, even though it sucks that they have to go through a survival show again, it's really nice to just see them like perform and just like all that. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about episode 1 of the Howling. I'm gonna try to do like a review on each episode like as they come out. Like I'm gonna try to keep up with it, because I'm really curious on where this is going to be headed, and I'm also just really eager to see them debut. And I also just kind of want to get y'all's opinion on like the survival show and all that, because I don't know, I think it's just cool to hear everyone's opinions on it. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for today, guys. I will see y'all next time. Bye.